Hey, welcome to or back to BarbieCoProductions. And as you can see here, I have recently found the new Mini Brands Mini Minis Fill the Fridge. I got the fridge plus a few capsules and I am super excited to open these. I just put together this little piece to raise the fridge a bit so it matched the height of the rest of the kitchen. You can see here how I made it. Perfect. Now, let's open this fridge. Already, this fridge is being a little bit difficult to open. So I'm gonna get some help from my trusty seam ripper. And the second layer. This fridge looks a bit more blue on camera and a bit more green in person, but I already love it. I think it looks great. And here is the inside with the working light. I think for a fridge that looks like this at the price point that it was with working lights, I am very happy with this. The freezer also opens and is just as detailed. Here were the included instructions on how to install the shelves and the warnings for the batteries. In the first bag here is all the shelves. According to the instructions, this is the top shelf. And then there's two more. And this drawer that I'm assuming is for the vegetables. Then there's the shelves that go on the door. Now, let's see what is in this first bag. There is an ice scoop, a watermelon fridge magnet, and a small can of Olipop. I can't say I've had this, but it does look like a very cute mini. And I'm gonna put the ice scoop in the freezer. And on the back of the fridge there is a little switch that changes the light from an LED light to a UV light. There was also this included, which shows what the fridge looks like when it's filled with all the minis and explains about the light. And on the back of that is the instructions on how to assemble the included jello, which the pieces for that are in this other bag. Here is the resin, another smaller bag, the silicone mold and the cover, and in the tiny bag is a plate and some tweezers, or tongs, as well as some little slices of what looks to be mandarin or orange, but they are very detailed. And I'm going to be coming back and assembling this later, right after I see what is in these capsules. Once again, using my trusty seam ripper. Here is the collector's guide, And I'm seeing 3 different bags in 2 different colors. In the first bag is some fresh milk. In the second bag is some eggplants. In the third bag is some lamb chops. I'm loving how detailed the packaging on these are, especially with all the tiny writing. I love the attention to detail. In the fourth bag is some Baskin-Robbins ice cream, Oreo cookie cream. This looks to be a good size. In the next bag is a Pizza Hut big dinner box. This looks to be the same as the one that I saw in the Foodie mini brands, but just on a slightly smaller scale. I think this will still be really good though in the dollhouse. And in the last bag is some Morningstar sausage patties. This also has a lot of detail on the packaging. And there was also the included fridge magnet, which looks to be bread in a bag. Here is the collector's guide. As you can see, there is a lot of things here to collect. And I'm gonna go through and tick off everything I just found. Now, I thought this one here was the ice cream I found, but I think that's the mini ice cream, and this is the regular sized ice cream. Let's see what's in the next capsule. Another collector's guide. And in the first bag is a bottle of turmeric shot. In the next bag is a frozen fish. That is very detailed. In the third bag is some kombucha. In the fourth bag is what I think is one of the mini minis in the chocolate Hershey syrup, because this is very small. In the next bag is a drink with a name that I do not know how to pronounce, but it looks to be orange flavored, and a good size for the dolls. And in the next bag is some sliced deli turkey. Once again, another very detailed box. And in the next bag is some bacon. Once again, in a very detailed packaging. And the included magnet was a little camera. How fitting. Once again, I'm just going to tick off everything that I found from the collector's guide. And let's see what's in this third capsule. Once again, another collector's guide. And in the first bag is the first double up, another one of the kombucha. That's okay though, because this will still fill the fridge. In here is a cooked lobster, and in here is a flip top bottle of juice. And in here is another double up, but that's okay, because this is fill the fridge. In here is what looks to be one of the regular sized syrup bottles. This one is strawberry flavored. And in here is another double up for the big dinner box. That's okay though, this means more minis to customize. And the included magnet was a little picture frame. Once again, ticking off everything. And I do hope to find the broccoli if I get any more of these. But now let's assemble this jello. I have plans to try using this mold with other materials, but for now I'm just going to use the included resin very carefully. I always forget how difficult getting the resin out of these bottles is, and maybe I should have taken the nozzle off the bottle. Now I'm going to switch the fridge to the UV light. Whoa, that is very, very bright. I'm going to add the jelly in the fridge. And I will see you in about 30 minutes. Okay, it has been about 30 minutes. I'm switching the fridge back to the LED light so that we can see in here. And here is the jelly. It looks to be all solidified. And very easy to pop out of the mold. That is a good thing. Here it is. I'm gonna add it onto the plate. I didn't add the little slices because I do want to keep those for a fruit bowl, but I'm going to sit them on the side of the plate for now. And for anybody wondering about these minis being used for Barbie scale, here they are with one of my dolls. I'd say pretty much everything here looks to be a good size. Now, since I didn't find the little bag of ice that you can find for the freezer, I do have some of these ice cubes that I got on AliExpress a long time ago, and I'm just going to add some of those in with the ice scoop. And I also have a few of these little glasses laying around, and some of these Miniverse resin bottles from over the course of sets I've opened. I'm just going to blue tack these down to a scrap piece of paddle pop stick and add some of this resin to these. I'm hoping that this will cure in the fridge, but if not, I'll put them outside in the sun. I'm also just going to add a few more ice cubes into one of these. And use a toothpick to mix it around. And then for the other two, I'm using this leftover eggnog resin from Christmas time. I'm not sure specifically which drink I'm going to make, but I guess I'll just have to hope that it looks okay in the end. Once again, I'm adding a few more ice cubes. And pushing them down with the toothpick. I've also got this plastic coated wire, and I cut off a small piece and use something to hold the wire end while I pull the plastic coating a bit away from it, and then cut off the little extra piece. So it looks like a straw, but it's got more stability than if it was just the plastic piece. Then I repeat for a second straw, and add them to the drinks. My next dilemma is fitting these in the fridge, as they do not fit. So I'm just going to take this middle shelf out and move this one down and add these into the fridge. I'm not sure if this will work because they are a bit of a distance from the light, but I guess in 30 minutes we'll see. Okay, it's been a little while, and after some trial and error, I did have to prop the shelf up closer to the light. They did not dry properly under the UV light. I had wondered because it was resin that you were meant to set in the sun, but I did end up going and setting them in the sun instead, and now they are dry. That's okay though, at least I know for next time. But even if you don't have the little plastic glasses and you want to make some drinks for your dolls, you can always make some like I've made here out of recycled paperboard and some paint. I added a few more minis that I had in a container to the fridge. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but I do plan to make some more food items to fill up this fridge because it is looking a little bit empty. Here is the scale of a Barbie next to the fridge. I think it works once you have that little piece to raise it up. And here she is with all the food items. But that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, or check out my community tab where I post regular behind the scenes pictures and updates. Bye! Just as a quick disclaimer, my videos are intended for a 13+ audience and are not made for kids. As an adult who collects dolls, I use customization methods and sharp tools that are not suitable for children.